discretion is advised.
Happy Monday. You are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 138. We are in patch 7.1, not 1.7. Tonight we're going to be talking about the developer Q&A that happened this week and all the goings on there. Someone has already maxed out their artifact weapon. That is insane. We have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there is a group that defies convention. A group that stands in the face of trolls and doesn't flinch. A group that strives on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve. A group that eats tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell, the PWNCAST Vanguard. The wolves whose howl can signal death's coming, Lycan. Snap back and get faster for the pet battle grandmaster, Gemma Banks. He's sharp as a dagger with that dapper swagger, Secret Sauce. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are PWNCAST.
Welcome back. These guys went hard in the paint with this mannequin challenge, but I did bring some of the Riders of Rohan with me. We are down a Lycan because Lycan is under the weather today, so we are going to give him our strength for good tidings and good health. We will miss you tonight, but I did bring, wow, this mannequin thing is insane. I could not do this at all. Hats off to you guys. I did bring the monk who likes to provoke Bell by wearing a purple striped shirt, Gemma Banks. Oh shit, I didn't unmute you.
Giveaway.
I forgot to unmute you.
I have a mischief. I have a giveaway. Oh, mischief giveaway. Oh,
awkward and embarrassing. Look at David.
Very.
I mean, secret. I use his slave name. I did bring the priest who has passed his Trial of Valor test, Secret Sauce.
Yeah, that was that was pretty impressive. I just focused on myself the entire time. Busy weekend. Trial of Valor, Heroic Nightmare, Emerald Nightmare, which was a fuck fest. Thank you, Blizzard, for whatever you guys did to that thing tonight. Last night it was awful, but we got it down. Trial of Valor normal. It's only normal, guys, but still progression for riders and for a lot of other guilds out there.
Have you seen Hell Yeah on normal? Because that shit is... I literally was like, I don't even know what to do. I'm just going to stand here and just keep getting hit by water and keep having the ads. I just don't... It was bad.
We did it. That's all that really matters. A lot of guilds, it's a big deal. It's a lot of ads, and that's what people get consumed with and overwhelmed. So good job, riders, both teams. So yeah. For
sure. That mannequin, it was amazing. I'm going to make sure I highlight that because I'm pretty proud of you guys. I can't sit still that long. So
it was hard. I was trying to breathe and
I was trying
to read.
Hard not to drool because I was at too. So.
Then I forgot to unmute you guys, so that was really awkward. I even said the F word.
Very.
Drop that.
Oh, did.
I did.
Should we announce the winner? I know we don't really pre-plan things,
but
like
till probably the
let's
end.
make them wait. That's right.
What they do on all the major networks is they make you get the good stuff at the end to force you to watch. So I definitely think that can be a thing. So as I mentioned, we are down Lycan. He is very under the weather. He's been battling some things. Hopefully he gets better.
Some demons.
He's really going through it. So in the meantime, we're going to do what we do, which is hold down the fort. So let's talk about, let's do some of the quick news, and then we could talk about the dev Q&A. So Winter Veil's coming, starts the 16th. Go do the things.
Winter is coming.
Get your stuff, get the snowballs, get the reindeer, mistletoe, gingerbread cookies, the whole...
I actually just recently deleted all that crap out of my bank.
I save all the holiday stuff because, especially the mistletoe.
Yeah. I do remember that first Christmas getting the soccer ball and the football. I'm like, and I played catch with my friend who no longer plays, and
Oh, what a sad memory!
I'll play catch with you, buddy.
That was like the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, I'm like the kid in the field with nobody to play any sports with. They said if you play, they will come, and they didn't.
No one.
They lied.
That's
in America.
You do need Winter Veil for what a long, strange trip it's been because you need merrymakers. So if you're still working on that, make sure you get in there and get your things. And it's nice. I think it's a nice addition. That's actually one of my favorite holidays in game because I like like right now my garrison's completely decked out for Christmas. It has been since the day after Thanksgiving. I hearthed to my garrison
Lord.
and put the Christmas
All the decorations up.
Yeah. Jim has seen it and he was like, seriously?
I was like, I forgot you could do that because I just kept the Halloween decorations forever and I never did the Christmas.
one of my
Did,
favorites.
did the Winter Veil offer pets too, like Halloween did?
I don't think new ones. I mean, there's always Lumpy has always been a good one, and I used to try to hustle the Rotten Little Helpers, but I don't think since Rotten Little Helper any new ones.
And they
Right.
have the Jingle Bell, you know, the reindeer, the little reindeer. The little gnome, the red package. When you have her out, she hops on a tiny reindeer whenever you're mounted and runs with you. It's my favorite. I can't
That's kinda
even deal
cool.
with how cute it is. I literally can't even so much. At
When I first started YouTube and I had no idea what I was doing, it was my orc in a Christmas outfit, and because I was so fail, I was like, "Hey, leave a comment for a giveaway," and it was so cringe. It was the most cringe-worthy. It was so
my
bad.
God.
So that's
all.
where it all
That's
started.
hurting
Was
my
Witcher's
feelings.
fail. It was bad. Yeah.
How we evolve as content creators, right? I do often look back at some of the old video episodes and I just literally just goosebumps of just like I want to just curl up into a ball and be
Yeah.
like, really? I thought this was good. I really thought this was good. I didn't
Right.
know anything back then. I'm so embarrassed to even.
You were state of the art back then.
I was on the brink of discovering.
I think that's what
something.
makes us appreciate the viewers that much more.
Because they dealt with all that bad, awful
Right.
video. The overlays I thought were so cool and inventive were not. It was just, we started from the bottom, literally, like,
Yeah.
and now we are definitely here. The Legion dungeon events start. By the time everybody watches and listens, it should already be underway. So make
Yep.
sure you go see the Archmage in Dalaran, get the quest, and
Yep.
go do the things. Definitely worth it to get stuff. I don't ever get
Yeah,
anything.
you get
so.
you had 2 pieces of loot on the last boss now for sure. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
a good thing.
things. Definitely
Possibly
worth it.
legendaries. Hmm.
Well, legendary.
So I'm gonna be roguing all tomorrow.
Oh, are you roguing? I've been
Yeah.
hunting, so
I know.
sadness.
I can just picture Secret Sauce like posing while he's roguing.
That's just embarrassing that you know that is. So Serenity Guild did complete World First Mythic plus 20 for Darkheart Thicket. Their time was 28 minutes and 51 seconds. Now
gross.
it was plus 332% health and damage boost to all the mobs, and the affixes were Sanguine.
Everything?
Sanguine, which is when slain, non-boss enemies leave behind a lingering pool of ichor that heals their allies and damages players. This also
Yep.
does stack, which is really crappy. Then they also had Volcanic. While in combat, enemies periodically cause gouts of flame to erupt beneath the feet of distant players. And then they also had Fortified. Non-boss enemies have a 20% more health and inflict up to 40% increased damage. Ouch.
Serenity
At least they didn't
now.
have, like- Yeah, at least they didn't have that demoralizing or the one that gives heroism for every ad that's killed. That one's gross.
Yeah, those affixes though are pretty. They're gnarly,
Yeah,
but
those are-
boy are
those are-
they fun. Like whenever we did one last week, they know everybody knows I love Court of Stars. It doesn't matter what mythic level. I'll do a mythic 20 Court of Stars because it is my absolute favorite mythic dungeon ever. So they were like mythic 7, okay. Well, I went on.
Yeah, because
I went on
it's
Taco Bell the
Surma.
Hunter, which was
There's no
obviously a
way.
huge carry, and it was just it was bad. It was bad. I barraged
That sounds
everything.
like a
I
bad
literally
time.
told them, by the way, inviting me means I'm new to huntering, and I'm just gonna barrage all the things until I figure out my
That's picky.
distance. Yeah, it was.
Did you figure out the distance?
I mean, I've got it pretty much down to a science. There's sometimes when I slightly miscalculate, and sometimes
Yeah.
I do it on purpose. If Renovan, if Donovan, aka Remedy, is tanking because he's got a pally tank. If he's tanking and we're like in a mythic or we're in a heroic, I'll totally pull everything just because it's him.
To test
What are you gonna
him,
do?
yeah.
You can't boot me.
Yeah.
We're friends. But I do warn him. I do tell him, by the way, I'm barraging, and he'll either
At
say
least you
no,
give him a
not
heads
now.
up. It's already too late when he says that.
Yeah, he'll say no, not, and I'll literally be like, "Sorry, I already clicked the button. Sorry, I already hit my hotkey." But that's just a good time. Now, to that end, the first person to max out their weapon, of course, is an EU player. I told you these EU guys are on a whole other level. Cerli, Cerli, Surly. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but they're in the guild, the Brigade.
But them,
54 traits.
wow.
65 million 256,330 artifact power. So that is a lot of...
And that's for all 35 traits, right? Like the main one that you get, like as your passive
Yeah,
as well.
and then you have, because it can go up to 54 with, like, once you get the final, you get a 4th gold dragon, and then you keep adding power to that, you know, that 4th gold dragon.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just about to get my 3rd golden trait, and I regret putting the stuff into my DPS. Like, it wasn't a lot, but I'd have my 3rd golden trait if I didn't do that. So
he did that with mostly Mythic Dungeons. They scoped out his activity. Wowhead did, and
Oh, really?
yeah.
So he was getting all the AP from bosses.
I'm sure he looked ahead and calculated like what is going to give me the most artifact power, and just
whichever dungeon has the most bosses.
Yeah,
I can't imagine being that dedicated, and I think it's great for somebody to be that dedicated. I am not the one for all that. That is way too much of my time.
I think you're dedicated to Warcraft overall with the same amount of hours. It just isn't all in gameplay.
Spread it around, right? I have a lot more things beside, but I think that that's awesome, and I bet you he's so powerful. Like,
oh, what class?
Ooh, good question, because I don't know, and I should know that.
Well, got you.
Right?
Oh, well, let me look that up while we're talking about it. But yeah, I should know that. That's really embarrassing that I don't know that.
But how cool would that be to be like,
Q&A.
I was the first? You know what I mean?
And I think there was a lot of people that
That'd be cool if they would have got an achievement for that.
There's a lot of people that were kind of negative on the comments that I've seen in the thread. Yeah, some people were being haters.
Internet?
Well,
No.
I think in large part because they were saying, "Oh, you have no life. Some of us have lives. Some of it." Like they were kind of.
What's the big deal? Like, look, we have an
kind of
amazing person named Double Agent. Like, that's what they did.
People
That's what
are
they
just
wanted
rude.
to do. Yeah, I mean, so what?
Yeah,
Go.
people are just rude. Oh, DK.
Ooh, in your face, Lycan.
Yeah, it looks like it's the DK. Yeah. So he's done Dark Heart Thicket 383 times. 818 Mauve Soul runs.
Oh, I bet. Those are the quickest ones.
444 Court of Stars. Wow.
Quarter Stars only has 3 bosses, right?
Salute.
Yeah, huh? You should know. You go.
So they've been following him. He's 890 for his item level. I guess he's been streaming his endeavors. So he's basically just been farming those Mythic Dungeons.
That's crazy. Yeah,
I mean,
and Mythic Plus, you can go into Mythic Plus all day long. As long as someone has a keystone, you can go into it. So
a gimmick is a gimmick nowadays for people to stream, and everybody's got to have. And when I say gimmick, I'm not poking fun. I just mean like everybody has like their thing,
their niche.
Yeah,
right.
whatever's good for them, and that seemed to be his good thing, and people liked watching it. And I think that's awesome. He's on the Maelstrom in EU for that.
That
server.
could have been HOTS, but he's playing too many stupid characters.
I mean, my gimmick would
That's
be
not
like
HOTS.
changing my hats every 5 seconds. So
I kind of figured that it would be like HOTS would be the guy to kind of do that. I figured if anybody, because I remember when Warlords of Draenor came out, HOTS was like, I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to be Realm first, maxed out. Okay. I mean, you're cool. 12 hours later, he hadn't slept. And he was like, I think he might have been the second one. I don't know that he was actually the first one.
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny that I'm pretty sure it was Aja in the guild that got it first. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but.
Well, there's so many people like in those categories. Like I'm sure there's so many people very close behind that guy who just maxed everything out that are just as dedicated or almost, but he was more efficient.
There's been a share going around Ronda Rousey, which for those of you who don't know, she's a fighter, and she was on Conan O'Brien, and she talks about how her and Vin Diesel are good friends in Warcraft. Now, it's no secret that Vin Diesel and his late buddy Paul Walker used to play. They would raid together because there's several videos of them, hanging out, raiding together. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Vin is Horde. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that they're Horde. So
I know Rousey. She's Alliance.
she's talking about this now. I knew she played a hunter because I think when she first started to blow up on the scene, they had went to her house and she had showed, this is the game that I play.
Right.
I got to be honest with you though, I'm not really sure how into Warcraft she is, and I'm not going to make too many friends here. But if you watch that video, I literally cringed when she's like, I think he plays a Draenei druid. I literally was like, oh, it's hurting my soul that you even said that. I literally cringed, and
I'm gonna go look in one of my books to see if those exist.
it's just really clear that she definitely doesn't play often. Obviously, because she trains and she does a lot of things. I'm not knocking her, but it just as a player, I just was literally like, oh, did she just say that? Like, oh.
That's the master race. That's the master class.
It was just really
Because
embarrassing.
she's so good at throwing the hands, you'd think she'd be melee or a rogue, right?
And then she talks about how she's a hunter, and she had said, that was my friend had told me that I needed to play this class. It was the easiest, which makes a lot of sense because people do typically pick druids or hunters because druids are really versatile, and there's several roles you can choose from. They're both really good starting classes for people just learning the game. But I literally, like, Donovan had messaged me, and he's like, did you hear what she said? I'm like, I know, it was awful. I would have booed her if I was in the audience. I literally
You guys are the ones in the comments writing those mean things.
I think it's great that she's repping for our game, and I love when we find out that Mila Kunis plays. There's a lot of people. Freaking Superman, Henry Cavill, he was playing, he was
Robin
rating.
Williams.
He was rating when they called him to tell him he got the part of Superman.
Right. Yeah.
However, I would like you to not say Draenei Shaman or Draenei Druid ever again to me on a public avenue. If you could never. I literally was like, oh, and
I want to get a shirt made.
Well, then she goes, well, I don't even know if druids can be Draeneis, and I was just like, oh.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
I give her credit for at least trying to semi-correct herself.
But if you're gonna go on TV with Conan, who Conan's a nerd, but Conan doesn't. And Conan flat out said, I talk about these games. I don't know anything either. Like, you're talking to the wrong person. I go to these cons and I don't know anything about these games. Right. At least he says. But I mean, I'm not going to knock it. So a bunch of you are going to be like, you leave Rhonda alone. I'm not knocking her. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to
It was just a cringe-worthy comment.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where it's like, oh, gosh. My husband would have said some shit like that. I'd have backhanded him. That's just not appropriate conversation. And then the last thing for the serious news before we get into the Q&A, which the Q&A brought a lot of good things, I think. The love is in the air. So we all run the holiday boss every year for the beautiful pink love rocket, right?
I want it.
They're making implementing level scaling technology. So you'll be able to queue up at level 20.
Oh, that's really cool.
You might actually be able to do the dungeons finally.
Yeah, and I think that's really nice, and I like that they're doing that. Hopefully it'll trickle to the other ones, which we have Brewfest, we have the Headless Horseman. I know there's another one in there that I'm forgetting.
The summer festival.
Right.
So I think it's pretty nice that they're doing that.
Well, it's only fair because, I mean, not everyone has a max level tune, and some people are just coming back to the game.
They're bringing so many people now with,
right.
Which leads me to my next one.
Also gives you more opportunities to get it on your other characters.
Valid.
Right.
Very valid.
We take advantage of this. Sorry to cut you off. It's just
that's
like
what we do.
We cut each other up, right? Shut up, Belle.
We exploit though. Not exploit in a bad way, but we take advantage of having ults, and it's nice that you don't have to level 1 to max. Because everybody's got like their little 30 level character that they just rolled because a friend wanted to level, and maybe they never touch it again because that leveling phase is past, or whatever the case may be. But whatever opportunity gets you more chances to run it. I personally think Blizzard nerfs your chances if you run on ults. I always have felt like when you ult like that, they're just like, no, we're not giving it to you.
No, there's a WoW
unless you're Aja.
equation.
She just got a legendary on her ult, and I literally have been playing on Taco Bell for like a month now, and I haven't seen nothing, and I've been pretty active on her, but I'm not gonna do that where I'm like all salty because our friend is getting legendaries. I'm super happy for her, but I would love to cut her. Sea salt? I'd love to cut her in her sleep.
You already did
that. Blizzard is starting a publishing company, which can we be surprised with all the books that they're, the books that they're publishing? I think it only seems right that they would do that. And then they can publish it themselves. They don't necessarily have to pay fees to have other companies be able to do that. And Blizzard's super, I have to own all the stuff under our name. And I think that that's a smart way to be because they're protecting their brand. So hopefully this means lots of good things. I'd like to see some more story. I'd like to be able to read more story.
I'm sure they have like millions of stories that they just, well, maybe not millions, but you know what I'm saying, like that are just, they're waiting for the right time or the right expansion to just slowly release this stuff out there. It's like they're doing the whole thing with the new Chronicles 2, Gul'dan, and stuff like that. So there's going to be so much more lore that we're going to get out of that. That's going to tie into Chronicles, into the Illidan book, and all this cool stuff. And I'm just waiting for the all the books of what else is out there that we don't know of, or the south part of the hemisphere that we don't know exists, like the stuff that they brought up. So
well, I want to know, there's so much stuff that I want to know on a deeper level, like about a lot of these things. I think we had done a very long time ago, Lycan had done a Topper McNabb where he had like researched, and there was a little bit of mystery with Topper McNabb. I would like some of the smaller known NPCs, ones that play a role in our everyday, even if it's in Trade District or in one of the major cities.
Right.
I would like to kind of see more stories develop outside of some of the big good and bad guys. Like, what about these little average Joes? What is the deal with the creepy children in Stormwind? And why did the little Suramar children tell you that outside lies doom? They're very... Children are creepy in those kind of environments.
I'm pretty sure Surma's going to have its own book pretty soon. Like,
I really
that
hope
storyline
so.
is probably super full of everything.
I really hope so. I have 2 more of the new Suramar lines left.
I haven't done any of them. I'm not even going to lie.
It's leading you up to Nighthold, so you're going to want to do them because it's
Do I have to do them to go into Nighthold?
I don't know for sure.
I'm pretty sure I will.
I'll be doing PTR tomorrow, and I'm actually getting the guild together on PTR to be able to run Nighthold so that I can record it for you guys at home. But you are doing things that take you to the front of Nighthold. You're working with Khadgar, and you're progressing, and there's things that you have to do. You have to fight your way to the front. I'm so excited for Nighthold, and I hate raiding, but I am just excited.
Isn't that 13 bosses? It's like a lot of bosses.
Yeah, it's a big deal, but that's the ultimate battle for Suramar is Nighthold. That's the that's like the end
it's
game.
in the center of it's like DC. It's right there.
I went to that place where Nighthold is, I think, right? I think that's where you go, but I glided all the way and I dropped down and it was all bad. Is death everywhere. But for like 2 glorious seconds, I was like looking at all the things behind the wall. This is amazing! And everybody was like, seriously, shut up. Just shut up. And then I died, and it was just sadness. I'm in love with Suramar.
You
Fan
don't say.
favorite.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Gemma's favorite. Gemma hates it.
I wouldn't say I
haven't
hate
been
it.
back. I haven't done a single
I don't hate
quest
it,
out
but...
there on secret.
What?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Have you put any artifact power into your DPS, or you just all rocking your healing spec?
I'm at level 33 in my holy artifact, and I think I'm like level 21 on accident because I forgot I was in shadow, and I'm like, oh yeah, click, and I'm like, fuck.
I think we've all kind of done that.
It's like 40k, and I'm just like, shit. So once I max out, I'll start adding.
I haven't been farming AP as much as I need to, and that is on the list of things that I need to do.
Yeah, because I'm throwing away like essentially like 20k. I mean, excuse me, 200k probably a day with not doing that crap.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and a lot of it's pretty easy too. It's difficult for me to just focus on one thing because of my ADD. So, sorry.
Yeah. It gets very repetitive as well. Like an alt
does.
is more, it's fresher for your gameplay, right? So
the to-do list on your main is we've been saying this since the beginning of the expansion. There's so much to do that some days I log in and I'm just like, I'm not dealing with you today, Belle. I'm going to go play Taco because I'm not dealing with you.
Yeah.
And then she gets sad because she sends me emails because she misses me. So then I have to
send you a tweet.
Yeah, she sends me
Please
love
come
notes.
visit.
To the end of the Blizzard publishing, we recently discovered, I was on Amazon doing all my Christmas shopping, and I noticed that Snowfight, a Warcraft tale, which was originally written by Chris Metzen. This was available about 4 years ago, and then all of a sudden it was no longer available. It's a kid's book, obviously. The artwork is by Wei Wang, and which is a super talented artist, by the way. But it's got morals. It's about love and bullying and friendship and all those kind of things. And it was written by our very own. It's recently come back into reprint. And a lot of people have asked over the years for it. If you want it, it's on Amazon. It's more expensive on Amazon, but there is another place that you can pick it up, which we have the link. If you go to PDQ, there's 2 links that you can go and you can pick it up. If you have children, or if you're just a collector and you want to have, a piece of Chris Metzen's brain, definitely buy it because it's available. I discovered that and I was so happy. I was like, yes, I found a thing for the first time ever. And I didn't know that this was available a few years ago. So when I got everything ready to go, sent it to my copy editor, and the copy editor messages me and she's like, by the way, this ain't new. She goes, I'm like, wait, what?
It's new to you.
That's why I was like, but I had a thing and I discovered it. And she's like, you discovered that it's in reprint now, but she's like, I'm sorry.
You're so cute.
Destroy your hopes
But
and dreams.
at least you have those editors, because if you just published it, then you
It
would have
been
had
embarrassing because I would have been like, this new thing. But they double check, they fact check for us as well, because we like to make sure we're being honest with things. So, and I did look, I didn't see anything, but obviously I didn't look as good as she did because she found it. It was quite embarrassing. So this
did you purchase it?
No, not yet. It's not in my Christmas budget right now because all the shopping is done. Tomorrow, the very last item arrives for one of my children, and everything is wrapped under the tree.
Nice.
All I have to deal with the stockings. I don't have to deal with anything else. I bought everything on Amazon, and every day we had stuff showing up to the house.
I was going to do a counter for secret mentioning Amazon. You're at like 7 now.
We've been fighting that too. With us being gamers, we live in the online world, right? And up until this Christmas, we'd always went and done shopping. People are bad out there in the real world. They're jerks. You fight a lot of rude people around Christmas time. The traffic, it's just nobody's merry anymore. Nobody knows how to even if you don't celebrate Christmas per se, the other holidays, Hanukkah, all the other things that are attached to this specific part of the year, everybody's just rude. There's no, nobody says happy holidays anymore. Nobody makes you feel in the Christmas spirit. They're just jerks. So this year I was like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm going to buy everything off the internet, and I have Amazon Prime, so...
It is just easier, and the only downfall to it is, like I've bought stuff off the Blizzard shop, and, the shirts and stuff like that, and I would like to at least, because some colors, Jim might realize...
See.
Yeah, I prefer a tighter fitting collar instead of one that's, out here.
I hate that. I hate it.
I've gotten some of those from some of my fantastic loot crates, and I'm just like... Damn you!
That's why I don't buy from the Blizzard store a lot, because I'm always leery about what we're going to be getting clothing related. Right. But they're pretty consistent with their T-shirts, though.
They are, and for that, thank you, Blizzard. Fantastic job.
Their T-shirts are great quality, and they're super comfy. I love their clothes.
Could be the Canadian in me as well, but like Belle just mentioned, all the listeners, why don't you take a step forward and be that polite person and hold the door open for the next person, or say happy holidays, or just... Don't be an asshole on the road.
Yeah.
Just don't be a chode. Like, if that's your one rule. I've done several things in the guild group this last week, and at the end of all the things that we're running, I'm like, the first rule to be able to run these things with riders is don't be a chode. And then underneath it, I say, we reserve the right to refuse service if you break the above chode rule. And somebody was like, you're obsessed with people being chodes. I just feel like we forget to love each other, and I think... Even more so now, especially in game. I'm not even going to go on that tangent because it's going to make me rage about trade chat. I just
no, because we've already done it. And
I just want people to love each other.
It's going to forever be there. I mean, it's never going to end. So
if you can't be nice, or if you wake up grumpy, I'm going to need you to not log in. I'm going to need you to go do something. Go rub one out. Go do something that makes you happy. Eat a macaroni and cheese bowl. Eat some cereal. Drink some hot cocoa. Do something. Don't get on in-game and be grumpy, because I'm not going to deal with you. I have my own grumpy issues.
Have a toaster strudel.
Strudel.
Those are delicious.
Damn it. So the Q&A, I enjoyed this Q&A because it talked about the Warlock, obviously. And
it talked about it so much that she's not playing it.
No, it's not that. I played it. I rated on her today.
You didn't have a choice.
Destruction for single target is just in a really crappy place. Our AoE is amazing. They've done amazing things with our AoE, and I love it. However, my single target is garbage, and I am 871. I'm sick to death of just working so hard for bare minimum. And it isn't I need to learn how to play my class, because I don't. I've been playing Bell since 2008, and I have another Warlock in the guild that has 7 other Warlocks that he theory crafts on. So I'm getting the latest and greatest of the information from Soiled myself, because he really knows what he's doing. It's not that it's a struggle. I'm 871, and to barely be able to be pulling what I think last fight I pulled 247k, which is great, except I have to work really hard for that. Like at the end of our raid, my carpal tunnel is just bad on both hands. It sucks. So he did talk about, I'm not important right at the moment. We have other classes, elementals. We have Monk tanking, although they say is not broken, I feel like people are just not sure how to play it. I just think there's a lot of confusion. With
I only see a
broken in a
few. I
bad
only see
way,
a
you mean?
handful
Like-
every now and then.
Yeah, well, but I think single target in general is just, it's really messy with a lot of classes. Single target is.
In Walker, I heard, I haven't rated on a high level, but I hear that it's
Yeah.
great AoE.
And they've done great things with AoE this expansion, but single target is just a struggle, and 90% of the boss fights 90% of the time are single target minus when ads come out. So,
Well, they don't want to repeat Hellfire Citadel though, too. Every fight was an AoE fight.
Right.
For
which I don't want an
90% of
AoE
that
fight.
dungeon.
I just want you to make it where I can do okay in a single target.
Right.
I can't rely on my double chaos bolts to be able to carry my DPS. That just, it sucks.
Yeah, that's not reality.
So with that, he did talk about that. One of the things that he talked about, which I'm trying to find it because he talked about a lot of stuff. He talked about paladins. I'm trying to find where he specifically talked about the warlock. Let's just go down the list. We'll skip it because there was a lot of stuff that was talked about. So let's start with, we'll go down in the order of importance. So they talked about the secondary stat squish not going to hurt specs that rely on it, such as like crit for the fire mage, mastery for arms warrior. Ian said that ultimately it shouldn't affect the classes that rely on them. An example that was given is if you are someone with a 47% of a secondary stat, you're probably going to see it drop to about 45% after the changes are implemented. So these aren't going to be huge drastic squishes. They're just going to be smaller squishes. So
okay.
Nobody freak out on the secondary
I mean
stat squish.
that's manageable, but when they do a huge secondary stat squish like that, I mean,
They overall they didn't want to nerf any players, but they wanted to balance out the itemization of the gear a little bit better, which makes a lot of sense because right now what they've talked about 3 Q&As now, you get an 865 piece, but you're wearing maybe an 850, but your 850 stat wise is
better.
out of the box amazing. So you're suffering on that item level to have the better stats.
It happened tonight. It happened in 9 trials. So.
I have 2 pieces of amazing 870 gear that I cannot wear. I got them out of boxes. I cannot wear it because it takes what I need for my lock. So I'm just like, And fuck your versatility, Blizzard. Stop giving my warlock versatility. She doesn't want your bullshit versatility. You could take that versatility, you could shove it up your ass because I'm sick of it.
We really need to make shirts next year. Just saying.
Fuck your versatility.
Well, maybe not that specific.
No, I feel
word.
like I do. We should make a shirt that says "Stop giving me versatility."
See, that's way better.
I'm sure it's
We'll have
great
it.
for healers need it, right? Like there's a lot of
Yeah, I
people that
love
need
it.
versatility. Not me.
Yeah.
It's not my business.
Monk, yeah, I have not. I have 0 points in versatility on Secret. So
Secondary rebalancing and jewelry changes on PTR encourage stat stacking and getting the item with the right stats even more. The change in Legion was a flattening of the rate of scaling that secondary stats over the course of a max level period of the expansion. Secondary stats were set a lot higher as a fresh 100 because certain specs did not perform well at a lower item level, which there's a lot of specs that are gear dependent, Enhance being one of them. The higher the item level of the other slots would give you a larger share of primary stats than the secondaries. However, with Jewelry and Legion, there are no primary stats. The Jewelry scaled a lot less than other items did. So a 20% increase in item level should have given you a 20% increase in secondaries. And this will be one of the changes that's made in 7.1.5, which is valid.
yeah, that sounds good.
If you're getting a beefy item level increase for equipping that, you should see it reflect in the stats.
Right.
Not plus 63 haste. Fuck you. Thanks. But I agree. I think that there's a lot of tuning that's happening with the stats because I think that they kind of focus so much on one thing with the world quest and all these other items that it's natural. Some things just kind of slip through the cracks. They gave us a lot really quickly. So now they're just kind of having to rebalance.
Yeah.
What is being done to ensure tanks want eye level upgrades since primary stats mean far less to them? Even though primary stats give tanks avoidance, the amount is not substantial enough. Developers are looking to add more of a significance for a primary stat of that item to provide. Although the item level does provide more armor, stamina, and mitigation for tanks, the changes in 7.1.5, the rating conversion was changed and the items were buffed across the board at around 5%. I don't understand anything I just read. I don't tank. I literally I understand some things, but Sauce, you tank on occasion, so I'm gonna need you to explain what.
I haven't tanked for fucking.
But you could easily. You
6 months.
understand that. I don't know what is that. So I'm assuming that's a good thing. They're focusing on the
Yeah.
primary stats for item upgrades.
Right. So the primary stats is gonna buff everything else that you're taking in. So, our amazing tanks like your brother and Kel and Ren and even
They're all
Rickett now. Anyways, Tyrion, thank you.
Is he alive?
He is. I have talked to him.
He's
but,
fighting the real world boss.
Yeah, but it's just those are the things you need. Like avoidance is great. Even leech. If you happen to ever get leech for a tank, I mean you're just regaining energy or your health, excuse me. But the odds of you getting something like that secondary stat or that bonus stat, you might as well just roll dice and all day and see what you're gonna get. But it's nice to hear that they're going that route to help some tanks, because there are exceptional tanks that know exactly what they're doing and know when to pop cooldowns at the right time and use their abilities when needed instead of just popping them just because hey, DBM's telling me to do this or whatever add-on I'm using. But other people, yeah, I don't know which way I'm supposed to point, but it's just people know when to do things and other people don't, and they just rely on sole purpose of the game. So
they're changing some classes back to what they had previously. Hunters using traps. Like there's a lot of things that they're reverting that they changed, and they talked about, well, what's this going to do to people that have adjusted? This is what we do, guys.
Readjust.
We
yeah.
readjust.
Yeah,
they fuck shit up. We deal with it. They fix it and make it amazing. We deal with it. They change everything. We don't know what we're doing anymore. We deal with it because this is the nature of.
I mean, it's
the
just
game.
it's just so since you did bring up the hunter, anyways, it's just traps. It's not like they took away your bow or your gun and said here is a pistol. It's not like that. This is an easy thing to put back into your rotation if need be, or to trap something, to literally trap something.
He admitted that a lot of the stuff, some of the stuff that they changed, they shouldn't have. It just,
They should never have touched that. It's a
We're gonna
hunter.
fix it.
You're a hunter for a damn reason. It's in your damn title. Regardless of marksman, survival, beast mastery, it's there. It was a big deal then. It's still a big deal now. But yes, people have adjusted this entire time since they've been on, and they're going to revert right back into using their traps like they used to. It's not a big deal.
And they're doing it in patches. And they talked about the patching it out slowly, so they're doing it so that people can ease into it, and you don't have to wait for another expansion. They did a lot of change in Legion. They
did.
Revamped
No, I'm super
everybody's
thankful.
class from ground up in a lot of cases. Demonology Warlock being one of them. They completely changed the way that we play. So I think it's going to be okay, and I hope that they're
It
on the
will
right
be
track.
okay.
I mean, at the
I
end of
can't
the
wait to
day-
get my group vanish back. I can't wait to get that back on my rogue, since they should never have taken that out either. But
I don't know anything about that.
I had heard about that. I even read something about that like a while ago. That was one of the things that they.
Yes, we used it in Battlegrounds.
Yeah, I mean it's a big deal.
I always ran out of it on accident because I
That
didn't
sounds
run.
like something you would do.
Yeah, I did. It was when this was on Hots was our rogue. He was a really bad rogue.
We're hiding from everybody. Oh, there's Belle.
And then I would be like, "Oh shit, I'm out of the circle. Sorry guys, my bad. They totally know where we are."
Let me just get my portal up.
It was awful. I'm embarrassed to even admit.
It's fine.
I don't think you are.
You're terrible.
I'll walk away.
I'm gonna start a bell for him.
You're gonna start a bell for him.
Yeah, and everyone can just write their opinions on Bell, right? And we can just continue commenting on that. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, obviously,
It'll be like
you
a
can
live
think about
stream,
bad
like
things.
on all the ticker of everything that people say.
Live on a Bell Q&A.
No. So we were talking about Warlocks finally. We are to that point. Now, somebody said long-term plans for Warlocks. Numbers aren't terrible, but none of the specs feel fun to play. Demonology is all right. I don't play it, but a lot of people have told me it is quite fun to play. You saw a lot of Demonology in PvP and the higher tier glad status PvPing, which is nice to see more versatility with Warlocks. I think the old Destruction, Affliction battle raging on, it's nice to see some, the Dark Horse kind of come out from under the rock and kind of smash some things, which is nice. I still hate Affliction, which is great. Hooray for dots. But I have been dealing with things with my lock because I'm an optimist. I love Bell, and because I love Bell, I'm always going to be like, oh, it's cool, it's all right, it's not that big of a deal, you know, whatever.
Wait, you say stuff like that?
Yeah, like, I don't typically, this whole time we've been raiding, I've never once complained about Bell. I just simply said I don't feel like dealing with it, so I'm going to just swap to a hunter because...
Right. Oh, no, that was just recently. That wasn't, like, forever.
Yeah, but that's just literally because we're coming to the crunch time where if I can't pull my DPS in Heroic, I'm not going to be raiding because that's the rules. I could totally do that and not raid and just keep PvPing on Bell and not even go to raids. But then I thought, well, the team really needs people, so I'm
Are you chasing the numbers?
No, God, no. No, instead of chasing the numbers, you know what I did? I rolled a class that's really easy to play. No offense, I'm not offending any of you hunters, so before anybody freaks out, I was like, fuck you, Bell. That's not what I mean. I just mean hunters are just amazing out of the box, as long as you know, which is not a rotation. Donovan keeps telling me it's not a rotation. It's a spell priority. I get it. I totally get it. But with that, basically... Ian had apologized. Affliction warlocks can now only target their soul effigy to allow more of the gameplay similar to the mages with their. You guys remember the mages prismatic crystal? I don't know if they still have it, but that crystal was so stupid in PvP. Once I seen that prismatic crystal drop, I'm just like, okay, I'll just sidestep over here.
Explodes.
But like, it was one of those things where it was the same for the. I'm having a stupid moment.
Mino brain fart.
The warlock, the big AoE. I can't think of it. It's
the meteor?
No,
Chaos fire,
I can't think what it is, but it's the big AoE. It was in your talents.
Your warlock.
I know I'm really bad right now, and it's mostly because I haven't talented that in a really long time.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can just edit it out. It's okay.
But yeah, I haven't used it in a really long time because it's not useful this expansion. But it was useful last expansion, especially when we had a lot of AoE boss fights. So, but if the tank moves him, if they move the mobs out of where we popped it, it's just kind of pointless.
Yeah, it's a waste.
It was done. Dominic did it to me all the time where he would move the boss right as I was casting it, and there was just nothing you could do. So, well,
it was the same thing like in Hellfire with Blade Master with the trinket.
Right, and it's awkward. He said that it's awkward to interact with the soul effigy, and I did test that when I tested in beta, which I thought was kind of cool. I mean, I don't Affliction, but it was pretty cool. So, I guess there's some work with demonology as far as the demonic empowerment. Most of the time is spent gaining resources, keeping the multiple pets out, and managing demonic power, which getting your pets and constantly proccing them and doubling and tripling your pets is kind of what you're doing as demonology.
I had 16 imps out. That thing was amazing.
But it's a juggling act. It's not so much fun to play as you're always like stressed out trying to.
I was having fun doing it. Like my whole goal was to try to get 20 fucking
though.
It doesn't matter. I had a blast.
I had fun when I rogued, and I don't know how to rogue because it's not.
Well,
it's not. You're not in love with it because it's not your main. Well, they're looking at changing up the rotation, basically.
Yeah, I bet.
Players also having issues with the way Destruction Warlocks are playing. The developers wanted to change how the Warlocks all handled resource management. Ian admitted that something was ultimately lost when the ability to gain partial embers was changed to moving to full soul shards. So now with Warlocks, you have your full soul shards. We had issues in the beginning of the expansion. You would passively always have one soul shard, right? You would spend a whole fight trying to get your soul shards, especially in PvP. By the time you had enough for a full burst, either the boss encounter was already halfway done and your numbers were already bottom of the barrel, or the NPC was dead, or the player had already killed you by the time you were ready to do your full burst. They then made it where the soul shards, you had 3 to start off with. So passively you had a 3.
That's better.
It's better. However, you only have one ability that gives you your soul shard. It's Conflagrate. It has 2 charges, and then it has a 30-second recharge. So for 30 seconds...
You're shit out of luck.
You're shit out of luck. You're sitting there waiting. It might be lower than 30 seconds. I've never actually paid attention because it has always pissed me off. So your Conflagrate, which does a lot of damage, especially if you talent your Fire and Brimstone and you have Havoc on another target, your Conflagrate does a lot of damage. But it has a recharge. So I'm sitting there doing my filler spell. My filler spell is my is my Incinerate. Hooray. Cool. That Incinerate is nothing compared to your Chaos Bolt. So we have to sit there and wait. There's talents on your artifact weapon that your Chaos Bolt might refund a shard. I may or may not have good DPS this fight. Maybe I'll get good DPS this fight because I'll have multiple Chaos Bolts. But I gotta tell you, when the Chaos Bolts are there, they're good. Especially with my artifact, with my legendary. I don't know if you noticed in Raid, but there were many occasions when my Havoc, I had 3 Chaos Bolts going out on 3 different targets.
I was too concerned about healing people, so I wasn't looking for a Chaos Bolt flying through the air.
So
but, I mean, like,
they're going to be reverting it. They're going to revert it. They're going to keep the soul shards because that's what we're used to, and they're going to have it where we can generate it just like we did Embers before. Which 2 of our, I want to say, every spell except for 1 would generate partials, which is great.
That this whole time, that's what I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was thinking, like, when are they going to fix that? Because, like, I don't Warlock enough to know that, but that sounds terrible. Especially with, like, and I know there's probably a lot of Warlocks that maybe watch the show and maybe they don't, but they probably found some way around it or however you want to do it. And I knew you've been Warlocking a long time, and that'd be depressing to just be, let me just do this filler that does absolutely nothing worth a shit. There. Yeah, and I would stress out. That's like if I was on my rogue and I had one ability that gave me fucking an energy, a combo point, I'd be like, well, let me roll something else now.
That's why I just did not bother chasing the numbers in Raid and just said, until the moment when you have to boot me because you're holding others accountable, I'll ride the lightning until I can't anymore. And I was just going to be perfectly fine not raiding. And then I thought, well, I'll just PvP on Bell and then I'll get Taco geared so that I could just bring DPS to help the raid. Essentially, normally I'd be fine not raiding. But what they've done is they even Lore had admitted, like, it is not good right now. It's a struggle because it's a very different play. My only worry is with them playing and reverting it to where the soul shards generated like embers. My problem with that is with the Havoc changes that they made, I feel like they're going to nerf that. Because the Havoc changes are awesome. And I'm just so afraid that they're going to nerf that I'm going to just look to Ian to lead me into the light and to just leave Havoc.
I don't think they're going to nerf it that bad, if anything. I think they might do like a minor nerf, but nothing like that's going to break it.
The way that it is now, if you add being able to generate embers with one of our filler spells, such as Incinerate, even if Emulate generated it, because I can emulate multiple targets, and Emulate's first in my rotation, no matter what I do, I emulate the target and then pop my Dimensional Rift. But if even just one other spell, you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be all of my spells. If just one additional one that I do use during a fight would generate the embers, it'd be so good again. I'm hoping that I don't want to get disappointed, so I'm trying.
No, but okay, what happens? Like I'm not a developer or anything like that. But what happens if they made it where, so you have one ability that gives you your shard, right?
My
or whatever.
Yep.
Now, what happens if the other one, what's the other one?
So they could do Emulate, which is my dot.
Okay, what happens if they made it like it had a percentage to give you back a shard? Like, would that be kind of better?
No, I don't think so. They would have to make it where a partial, like, because the way that they did it is similar to what I imagine would be like the energy or the chi or however all that other stuff works. Is it just slowly fills up the bar?
Okay, mine doesn't. Mine just literally a bubble pops up and the bubble.
Yeah, so the way the embers worked is you would have your 4 bars and each time you cast, you would slowly see your ember go up in 1 bar. Once your 1 bar was full, that was 1 chaos bolt that you could get.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
I think that would be perfectly fine. I don't mind using my filler spells, but it needs to be going towards something. Yeah. And I've been suffering in silence, guys. I'm really glad that this was a discussion. Those of you that are warlocks out there, specifically destruction.
I had no idea how bad or how difficult it was.
That's because I don't QQ that my DPS is bad because of the blizzard, because that's not proper, guys. You own up to your shit and you be like, my fucking DPS sucks because I'm lazy and I don't want to fix it.
You should just play Affliction.
Cash is playing Affliction now, and he's like,
I saw that.
He's godlike on AoE, but he still sucks single target just like I do.
Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah. I want to play a bunch
just
of
like
other alts, but I think,
should.
I mean, I've got my one alt. Well, I want to put artifact power in my DPS and tank spec. I really want to monk out. I'm just enjoying the healing monk so much. I'm going to get to know my
Monk
tank
out with
and
your
DPS.
junk out?
Possibly, depending on what
You don't
night
want
of
to
the
play
week.
like a whole other class?
I do. I have my hunter, and I'm going to do that just to hit 50 in PvP. And it's, I've always it's always close to my heart. But and I want to play other alts just because of how much gold you can get in these order halls now with these quests. Right? It's similar to last expansion. But no,
right.
exactly. No, I'm gonna straight up just continue to slowly put into my other specs and just be the all around monk. I just really enjoy the monk right now.
What level is your artifact power knowledge?
Good question. I don't know. I want to check.
Probably
I'll
like
check
the
right
high
after
teens.
the show.
I would assume.
Yeah, for sure. And
I just hit 20, so.
Yeah, and I've been up to date with mine. So we'll see. It's up
Thanks
there.
to this, best thing ever.
Right? Yeah, I know. I'm so stupid. I found out.
I park
my vacation.
I check my stuff real quick.
Yeah.
I go to work, come out, check my phone before I leave.
Right.
We talked about the compendiums last week, which is the artifact notes
Right.
that you can buy account wide. Somebody asked why you haven't made artifact knowledge account wide. I don't even know why they let that question slip through, considering the fact that they just talked about it the week before.
Before they announced the compendulums, I thought that like it'd been nice, or even like a thing if it'd been cool to like artifact knowledge would have been across like account wide, but maybe it would have been where it took longer to acquire it, gave it some reason to make it account wide. But I mean, regardless, to start off an alt at level 20, like that's fantastic because it takes a while to get to level 20 if you're not doing shit.
They did address the loading screens, especially when you're loading into Dalaran. And I thought for a long time, this expansion, I thought it was me. I was like, oh, God.
I thought it was me too until you just said that.
Yeah, like, you're like, just make
It was after one patch update.
Yeah.
That's when it all happened.
It's bad.
'Cause
It's literally like,
I was
I'll
turning
go
down the graphics on my computer to load fast.
Same. I did the same. I would go to the bathroom and come back, and it was still loading. And I'm like, seriously? I was even Facebooking in there. I'm glad I'm not.
Yeah, I
the
all
only
tab
one.
a lot. Well, thank you. That's why
You
I
don't
watch
have
the
your
show.
stolen cup, Gemma. I noticed. You don't have your stolen
Shot
Bubble
glass?
Gump Shrimp
Oh,
Company.
that's funny.
Now he's trying to.
Oh yeah,
make
no,
it.
I made soiled myself keep it because I wasn't
Oh,
smuggling.
because you didn't want to have stolen goods.
stolen merch over the borders. No,
That's
and
funny.
because he convinced me
The
to be a
glass
criminal.
police. They are fixing it.
The glass police. That's good.
There are
That's funny.
several things that are causing it, and they're working with customer service to gather data from people that have complained about it so that they could properly fix it. So
Yeah,
help is
that's
on the
good.
way, which is good.
Yeah. I make coffee when I log in because I know it's going to be a while.
You take a
so.
shower? Because
No,
I
that's
feel like
for
that's
show and
what
raid.
you do.
Show and raid.
I was gonna say he does it right before show
He
starts.
does everything right before raid and right before show. And when I log into Curse for raid, everybody's like, where's Secret? Oh, somebody will be like, oh, he's in the shower. Of course, he's either in the shower or he's eating dinner right before one of those moments. He doesn't do it like 45 minutes before. He literally messages like 5
I'm
minutes
taking
prior.
a nap before
It's
raid.
so
I'm taking a
annoying.
nap
Because you know me,
usually
I'm
before
super on
show.
time. And he's not.
He's just a super clean, hungry guy.
And you can't yell at him and be like, you need to be on, because he just doesn't give a shit. He
Don't phase him, yeah.
I'll go back to bed. I'll go back to sleep.
I hate it.
Right?
Last important item.
See this thing right here? I could happily go to sleep right now.
There's a
'cause this-
lot on the Q&A, so make sure you go to PWNCASTDailyQuest.com. Lycan did a really good breakdown on that because I was working and couldn't cover it. So go check it out. But the last
great,
item,
dude.
which is any plan for a catch-up mechanic for the first two legendaries for alts? Simply stated, yes. As the expansion progresses, more legendaries are added to the pool. With the addition of new legendaries, this will cause an increase on itself. Plus, the
New
developers would love to
legendaries?
see new players catch up with other players as well. Oh yeah, there's tons of new legendaries. I'll be covering that this week for I'm going to be doing a patch, or I'm going to be doing a 7.1.2 survival guide with everything everybody needs to know with what's hitting. And I will
So
be
like
covering.
like Riders 2, how they just acquired like 5 legendaries
Yeah,
last
but
night.
there will
like
be
that type of stuff.
There'll be new ones added in 7.1.5 that will automatically proc new people whenever there's a new patch. What did we see? What did we see with Karazhan?
Right.
legendaries were coming out of the woodwork because people were running that content. That content is what procs these legendaries. So they did say that they want alts to be able to catch up to players that already have
fantastic. Please. I only want 3 on my rogue.
You don't ask for much. I only want 3.
Right?
I only want 3 best ones. I don't want any of the other shit.
BIS.
Jim, do you still only have 1?
I do only still have 1.
That's because you don't play that often.
I do too. I've been busy a little bit.
What have you been doing? I'm going to ask you on the show because we never know what you're doing.
Right. So, well, I did the vacay, and then I did a lot of overtime this last week.
Oh, that explains it. You've been working.
Yeah, I have been doing a lot of working, and then balancing, my love for Warcraft and one other game, and then working overtime too.
Has the update came out?
Yeah, the patch for Warcraft will be out very soon, won't it? Like every new PvP season tomorrow. Yeah.
Good job.
Right.
I can't even deal with it. So that's pretty much your news in World of Warcraft. We went on a lot of tangents today, and I don't know why.
It was good.
I'm really tired though. That's my theme for every Monday. Mondays are just a long day for me. So let's talk about the world of pet battles, Jimma.
Ooh, there's so much going on. Kinda, actually. We could use some new content also. Yeah, last week I mentioned it'd be cool if we could fight some of these pet tamers on the daily. It's not that time yet, but I get a lot of questions with these Falcosaur pets out. It's kind of been, I don't know if I would call it a hot topic, but a lot of people who don't pet battle a lot are just like, how do I get these pets to max level? And my power leveling guides are great for people who have beat the trainers. So let's just start from the very beginning, guys. Go fight the master tamers, the grandmaster tamers. A couple people asked me even this week, how do I get these pets up? If it's just that one Falcosaur, you can just fight wild pets and slowly get it up. But in the future, there's going to be probably a need to level up other pets to max level. So just go to your main cities, Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and go talk to the pet trainers and go fight these pet tamers. They're so easy. A lot of you have level 25 pets. It's not like the original grind we had to go through where we had our I'm not branding, I just used it to simplify it, as we had our Pikachu. You have your one companion pet and you had to literally level it up, right? You had to,
that's
rely.
valid.
Yeah, you had to rely on that. I use that reference a lot before we had those garrisons to give us our max level pet, right? You had the stone and you max level. So now the scenario is some of you have max level pets and you don't know how to power level your pet. I just can't say it any more simple. It's very easy. Simplify it. Thank you, sir. Just go fight those pet tamers. It doesn't take that much time, and if you do a little bit by little bit now, you can go power level your pets. But for those Falcosaur pets, if you just want that one at level 25, you're just going to have to kind of grind it out against wild companion pets, sub it in, sub it out, kill it with your other level 25 pets. But it's not that much of a grind. There's so many achievements. And when you finally get to the MOP trainers, you can power level pets so fast. I'm talking in an hour, you can have 3 to 5 pets at max level. Like, it's so easy. Wow. So yeah, it's, power leveling pets is very easy once you have the Grandmaster Tamers done. Again, it's very simple. You just have to go do it. Go get your quest in your main city. I was very shocked, and I don't know if we've mentioned it on the show. Sometimes I don't absorb information the best, and I'm very big on right? I don't look up information. Part of it, you could say I'm lazy, but I also like the element of surprise. So as I was PvPing last night, I hit level 50. I prestiged. You get your couple achievements, boom, 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 boom. I open up my crate and I get an Alliance Enthusiast, and that was just such a great surprise for me. And I said even before Legion came out, how do we get the new pets? There was an Alliance one and a Horde one. Well, my question was answered. I'm sure a lot of you are laughing at me, as the pet guy should have known. But the Alliance Enthusiast and the Horde Fanatic are cool little companion pets, and you get it once you prestige your first time in PvP. So both humanoid pets, very cool. It sports your favorite, your Alliance or Horde pet. And I just don't like humanoid pets. With undead pets being so powerful and so used in PvP pet battles, humanoid pets are just so wimpy. Undead pets rip through them, but they've got some cool abilities. And I'll be doing some pet battle videos on those two specifically soon in the future. But yeah, I think Blizzard is obviously going to continue to get those people that don't pet battle to try to pet battle. I think Falcosaur is the closest we got to like so many non-pet battlers trying to pet battle. So yeah, go get your Alliance Enthusiast and your Horde Fanatic, depending on what faction you are, and just go beat those Grandmaster Tamers. You'll be able to power level some pets.
There you go.
What do you have against humanoid pets?
Nothing, and it's just, you know, and I haven't done a lot of PvP pet battles this expansion, mostly because I wanted to stream them, and I haven't got around to streaming them. But undead pets are strong against humanoid pets, so they literally just rip through them so easily. And I like undead and mechanical pets because you kind of get around the undead pet once you die. Doesn't matter how hard you get rocked, it comes back for one round. Mechanical pet, once you go through the original part of health, it spawns and has a little bit, it respawns and has a little bit of health. So there are a lot of good humanoid companion pets, but for PvP pet battles specifically, they're not good because you run into so many undead pets.
Well, so would you say that you're not the PvP pet battle master anymore since you haven't done it a lot this expansion? Because I'm pretty sure there might be people better than you.
Oh, absolutely. And it's an advanced game of rock, paper, scissors. So, you know, even though it really
rock,
is.
Rock, paper, scissor, atomic bomb, you know.
And sometimes
boom,
you have to get super lucky, right?
You know.
You have to be.
Yeah, a crit here, or, you know, Secret Sauce and I could pet battle with the same team. And based on what pet I bring in first or sub out at the right moment will determine the win. So, you know, a lot of it is predetermined already because you have your team selected, but skill and strategy just does come into place. There's been a lot of times, and I love it for my recordings, where if I lose, I want that rematch, especially where I feel that I can beat that person, and I've proven it, and I've also crushed a team, got the rematch and lost. So to answer your question, no, I'm still amazing at PvP pet battles. There are some new no, I really am. There are some new pets that have changed the game up, right? And we got a lot of nerfs, right? You know, when I came to the show and talked a lot of PvP pet battles, I said how there needed to be more balance, and then we got that balance as well. But a lot of my individual one-on-one pets are still good, and like the Falcosaur pets are good, and there are some new strategies, but you know, once you're skilled at something, you don't usually lose it.
I want you to fight me. Let's duel one.
I would love to.
I want to duel you, and you don't want to duel me.
It was like, I remember Lycan when we first got to know each other before I was on the show. We pet battled, and I was going a little soft, and I thought I was going to lose because I slipped up and subbed out and put in an easier, more fun pet. And then I don't remember if he beat me or it was close, but the next time we pet battled, I brought out my best pets and just destroyed him like he had no chance. So it was great. So don't go.
That's kind of mean, buddy.
Well, don't be soft on your friends, because if you lose, then you know someone like Lycan or Aja are just going to let you know about it. So, you know, come with your A game or don't come at all.
Yeah, Bill.
Interesting.
Right?
Oh. Speaking of A game, my PvP has been stressful. I've lost the will to do a lot of things. I know this is going to sound really bad because people are going to be like, Belle, you never lose the
don't.
will,
I want you,
right?
exactly. Let it out.
I haven't lost the will to play. I just don't have the time. I've been struggling with the time to be able to do things. So I've made a promise to myself this week's going to be the week that I do my PvP. I'm going to be PvPing tomorrow.
New season, right?
Now that we've cleared Trial of Valor, I might take a couple weeks off raid and I might spend my evening doing some PvP, whatever. It just depends on what the guild needs. So with that, I have some goals that I want to focus on. I want to get my prestiging done. There's some achievements that I want to get. The new PvP season starts tomorrow. So I think that's going to be my goal. But I wanted to ask other people, what do you guys do? How do you balance your PvE and your PvP? Are you guys strictly PvPing, which is all I used to do? Normally, by now, I would have stopped raiding. Sauce knows that. I only raid until we've cleared the tier once, and then I'm out of there.
She stops raiding once we get AOTC, and then that's the end.
Pretty much. And I'm not saying I use the guild for that. It's just I'm no longer needed. My guildies got what they needed in AOTC, right? They can say that they've got that, and then I can be free to move on about, because, I don't give a shit
Your
about
life.
those achievements. I could just do things that make me happy. So I am seriously considering it. And it's things that I need to get back to because I miss those things. And I haven't had time. There's so much to do in Legion that when I log in and do my world quests, I don't have time for all that with raiding and doing things. And I've been in PTR. So I want to know how do you guys balance all the to-do lists that you guys have? Are you finding that it's really easy for you because you stop chasing certain things? Artifact power is still needed for PvP because that's your weapon. So you can't just abandon it and do nothing, but PvP. But I wanted to get your guys's, and I wanted to talk about it next week. But for my Bell's Bites, I have 2 things that I wanted to read. I should have had
Read
it ready.
away.
I know I should.
Yeah, that's fine. You're fine.
That's okay.
I should have had it ready. So somebody, we got on December 6th, we had somebody on our iTunes, the Best WoW podcast, gave us 5 stars, guys. Balding Wookie.
No, right.
Balding Wookie. Bell and crew, you guys are the best. I listen to the podcast every week at work, and it is always informative and just downright awesome. From your adventures in the world to picking on Lycan's poetry. To picking on Lycan's poetry, you all show what it means to be gamers. I have struggled with finding things to keep me playing after all my buddies let their subs run out, and you guys have helped me find different things to do and keep engaged. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you do, and please, for the love of Pete, don't stop. Again, thanks for all that you do, and may the Riders of Rohan ride forevermore.
Aww.
All right. That was good.
Comments on the YouTube, obviously when you give away free shit, that brings out the people. We had several people from iTunes say, hey, I listened to you guys, I popped on over here because free shit.
It's awesome.
That's what we do. But it was nice to be able to see, we had double the amount of comments. Normally we average about 40 comments per episode. We had double the amount. It was really nice to see some of you guys kind of interacting more so. And I have, there's an email from Arab is his name. And I'm not being any kind of anything. That's literally
ARAB.
Yeah, unless I'm saying his name wrong. No, it's Arab Wower is his name, and he said, "Hey Belle, thank you. I like the weekly cast in your channel. You are international now. I'm from Qatar. I don't know where that is.
QATAR. Ooh,
I knew about your channel recently. I've been playing WoW since 09 till now. My question is, why do you still play WoW? Myself, things keep me playing WoW are moments, friends, free time, and it's an enjoyable game. Also, I know I'm annoying you, but could you bring someone who knows about gold farming and the economy on WoW? Because he basically said, you PvP, Lore Master Lycan, Secret Sauce is a Raider, and Pet Master Jimma.
We are missing that, right?
Yeah, we're missing the gold. Let Jimma Banks know that I used to hate pet battling, and now I really enjoy it doing them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I don't get offended when people say they hate pet battles. It's just not for them, and then I'm glad he came around.
Well, except for me, when somebody's like, I hate PvP, I'm like, what? You what? I get really offended. I don't, I'm just kidding. So what keeps me playing WoW, huh? I think about.
Oh, she's gonna get emotional.
No,
on
I think
us,
about sometimes what if that moment, if I ever cross that bridge, because all of you have crossed it at some point. Well, I don't know about you, Secret. You might not have crossed it, but I know 99.9% of players cross that bridge. Content creators cross that bridge. I seen 2 of my favorite podcasts kind of shut down for a while because they're not playing WoW, whatever. I think all of you
just had
pretty
real
much,
life go on. That's
right.
But
I think everybody at some point pretty much puts the game down during lull moments. I have not. This does not mean I'm amazing. This isn't a bragging point. It's not what this is. But I have not. I have never taken a break. I have never not been able to log in. I have never, unless it was like a real life thing when I was dealing with bullshit for my 18-year-old last week, that I just literally couldn't play because I was physically doing stuff.
Yeah.
I have a guild that keeps me on my toes, and it is a responsibility that you have as a content creator, as a guild master, as a friend even, for those people that log in and play honestly, if I didn't have the guild and we didn't have PWNCAST, it might not be so easy for me to keep playing. I might find moments where I would struggle, but I have to be interested. I have to be active. I have to be playing because personally, I don't feel comfortable podcasting about a game that I don't play every day. I need to be able to be playing it in order to be authentic. We can't be the voice of those that listen to us if it's not real. If I'm just logging on and doing some random stuff and then logging off, that's not gaming to me, right? That's farming your little stuff and working your auctions. That's not actually interacting with your guild and playing and doing things that are worthy to talk about and discuss, right? So I have never felt like I just can't anymore. And I am terrified of the day if that ever comes because I don't know what I will do. I have hit a lull where the PDQ stuff is concerned because there's stuff that I need to do for the YouTube channel and for the PDQ guide-wise, and I haven't been able to. It's not because I didn't want to. It's because I've been dealing with stuff at home. For any of you that have children, when you have an 18-year-old who turns 18 and decides suddenly that she's going to go move out and live with people on their couch and you threaten to burn their house down to get her to come back home, this does not make it a fun environment for you to be focused on guides, right? I can't focus on making YouTube videos because I literally want to set all of my kids' friends on fire who are helping her with this shenanigans of being independent while living off other people, right? You guys that have children, you already know my feelings. Can I get a hell yeah? So what keeps me playing is knowing that I have a responsibility to people in this community for, we've said it before, for every like, every follow, every listen, even you mean commenters and you people who keep disliking the episode. We have a responsibility. I have a responsibility to my guild. Some people only play because we bring them into it. We raid, we do things that force them out of their box where it's easy for them to not log in. Nope, I'm going to make you love me. I'm going to schedule 20 things on the calendar and make you feel bad for not showing up for them. But then they're interactive and they're not just logging in and farming stuff like we used to do with our, our garrisons. We would log in every day and people would do their stuff and then they would log off. I have no choice but to be active in it. It also helps that the people that I game with, they play every day. Like Donovan, Remedy, that's my boy. That's who I game with. When people tell me I have somebody Epoxis, he said to me a couple weeks ago, he's like, you have a clique in WoW. My clique consists of one individual, really. It's one person. That's my ride or die, right? We all have like that one person that's like your ride or die in game. That's the one person that no matter what I'm doing, we're doing it, we're doing it together. And he's the guy that plays the same time I do. It's just convenient for me.
Yeah.
But I think if I didn't have all those responsibilities, I might struggle with it, but honestly, I breathe this. Like it is all like I breathe it. And I don't know that that'll ever change unless I don't know what would change that, to be honest. But that's why I play. I play because of I love it to death, and the people and my responsibilities. Gemma, are you yelling at your mom? Or your brother?
He's yelling at somebody.
So I want to ask you. I want to ask you, Gemma. How do you keep yourself playing the game?
Very similar reasons to you. I don't have all the responsibilities you have, but with the YouTube channel and the show, and actually what the show's done, I don't know if this sounds really bad for everyone who watches, who subscribe to the Pet Battle channel, but it's made me be okay and not feel so pressured to do those videos. Yes, I've been slacking, but based on some of my videos, I still get subscribers every month and subscribers every week for the certain high traffic guides that I have. So the show, the YouTube channel, and I honestly enjoy WoW a lot. Overall, even though sometimes you guys will joke with me, Jim doesn't play as much or blah blah blah. I've always just had this fast, I've just always enjoyed Warcraft for whatever reason. So honestly, just the show and the YouTube channel are the easiest answers. I have met some friends in the guild, and the first comment or the email that you read was me. I can relate to that because everyone that I started the game with quit. So I had that MOP expansion and a lot of warlords just solo. So shout out to all the listeners too, obviously, because of you guys, the show is a thing and I was able to be asked to be on the show. So
It's sad when you don't have anybody to game with. It's hard
Yeah.
to keep yourself involved. And when all your friends leave, you have to find new people.
Yeah.
Because
Or hobbies, right? YouTube was that hobby. So,
That
I
filler.
I don't have a background of, video editing or anything. I use a lot of just very basic tools. And earlier in the show, I mentioned how terrible that first video and first videos were. So.
those moments that live in time forever on the internet, and you wish you could just delete, but you can't.
Oh, I did.
because-
Oh, I did.
Oh,
They're
did you?
deleted. Oh, yeah, they're deleted. I kind of wish I made them private. I didn't really know that was a thing, and I have one mashup video actually hidden of my first 4 giveaways because I didn't just make one giveaway where I made a stupid voice. I made several, so I did mash them up, and it's hidden somewhere on my computer. But what about you,
embarrassing.
Sauce? Yeah, very embarrassing.
I mean, I've been playing for 10 years. I did have a down. I had a phase where I took a break, a very extended break. I was at the end of Wrath, and we were already doing 25-man heroic ICC, and then I kind of took a break from the game, and then took a longer break. So it was like a 5-year break. So I missed all of Kata. I missed the majority of Miss Pandaria, and then came back and found my computer, found that, hey, I had a friend that was still playing, so I said, cool. She never played, so I was like, well, shit. Forgotten Prophets, thank you for saving me at the time. Got me back into raiding, got all that stuff. Met good old Dominic.
You guys, wasn't that to be reminiscent? I'm excited about the New Year episode, right? Because the New Year episode's where we get to like reminisce on the year. But weren't you guys all gnomes in a dungeon?
We were all random.
They were like, "We're all gnomes. Let's all be
random
besties."
dungeon, 4 gnomes, a Worgen priest. We wanted to kick them to see if we would get a gnome priest, but we didn't. And your brother and I just hit it off. The other 2 guys, they were interesting people, but your brother and I were just like peas and pods, and we just started playing every day. And then, hey, my sister has a guild. Hey, you should come over and play with us. Cool, why not? It's not like. But at the time, Forgotten Prophets, there was only 3 of us online every day.
You guys were just raiding. You logged into raid, and then people logged out. Right?
No.
Oh,
We were done. At the time at Mist, everyone was working, school, family. It was Galleon, our rogue. It was Waynestock, our warrior, and it was Secret Sauce, the priest, holding down Forgotten Prophets. Like, you guys still exist. Yeah, we're still here. Not really, but we're here. And that guild has been around since vanilla. I mean, it's but Go Familia right here,
I collect people.
She does. She steals
You
people
really
from
do.
her friends. From her family, she steals people.
I do.
But I mean, it is what it is, and I'm enjoying it. And I've always raided. I've been raiding since Burning Crusade, and that's why I play. I play because
People.
yeah, I get to interact, and it's not. I have 0 problems with anybody in game. Like, I think I have
dislike so many people.
I think I have one person on the
I have a running list of people that I hate.
Yeah. It's like one
Not
person
in the
on
guild,
my
just in general.
ignore list from forever ago. He was being like a total douche in trade chat, and I just ignored them. But the people, like, I enjoy just people just in regular trade chat, like, hey, can you help me? I'll get home from work, hop online, look to see who's running old raids, and I always see one for, I need heals for ICC 25, man, for an achievement. I'll log in, help them out. That doesn't happen often, but I don't mind it because I know when good old Secret Sauce was Holy Priest and leveling and fucking hated life in Stranglethorn Vale, which was awful back then.
So you were on a PvP server, yes?
It wasn't even just that. That fucking place was deadly. It was awful. You would kill one thing and 6 things would come out of nowhere. Like, hey, that was
Yeah,
That's
I
what
do
happens when I
remember
hunt
getting
her.
Yeah. Well, and yes, PvP
Donovan's
on
like,
top
where'd
of
those
that.
things come from? I don't know.
Yeah. So my good buddy Aaron, his hunter Safari, not to go off topic, he would hide like in the shadows and let me do my thing, and then I would start getting ganked, and he would come out of nowhere and fucking save my life. So thank you, Aaron. Best ever. he's been asking me for help for like the past 2 months since he came back to game. I haven't helped him, so.
You say you
But
haven't?
usually you're pretty, but
I haven't.
he said no.
I just don't have. I don't have the time. Like he plays when I'm at work, and when I get home.
Why
like,
don't you
no
send him Ryder's Way? We'll help him. Oh, is he Horde?
No, he's Alliance. I'll talk to you about him after the show.
Is he a dick? You could say it.
No, he's just
Just
different.
want you to know, I live with my brother Dominic, and Donovan is my best friend. So.
All right. Well, then you'll probably get along with Aaron.
I'll be just fine.
Fun.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, sorry, Aaron.
I love you, Donovan.
But no, I mean, raiding is my thing. That's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy the groups that we have formed, and I don't mean like cliques. I mean, this is
friendships, and it's okay to have your
like
go-to friends that you play with.
And it's not even that. It's literally like this is my second job. These are the people I work with, and I put in my shift twice a week, and I want to make history and get stuff done and get achievements and make everyone happy and get legendaries that we don't get. But that's why I play. And
good answers. You guys got great answers, man.
Well, I feel like we've had that combo or
have good answers.
That question.
Everybody always asks me. I get asked that more than any other question in the world. Even people in my family life that don't understand what I do but try really hard, that they'll say, wow, you've been doing this for a really long time. Don't you ever get sick of it? No. There are moments when I don't want to grind something. I just get on it. I don't want to do a world quest. I'd rather just do circles in Dalaran and fuck with people, or just chit chat with the guildies that I don't normally get to chit chat with because I'm busy.
Right.
But I just think, and if it wasn't for the people, and then I think about how much our game life has changed from day to day. If I think about where I was this time last year and the group of people that I was with, it changes, and that's one of the things that I do struggle with is your circle changes because people stop playing, they move on.
Right.
I had a great PvP circle of people that I gamed with every day, hardcore, and they all went Horde, which is their prerogative, of course. I'm not going to go Horde with you, so I don't have my PvP friends anymore. They're like, literally, everybody I PvP'd with the exception of Donovan, is gone.
Right.
Even
so
my
gave
husband.
Everybody the.
My husband doesn't PvP anymore.
free.
He overwatches. So everybody that I PvP'd with, which might be why I don't PvP, actually.
Oh, I guarantee that's
it
a
might
huge
be
part
why
of
I
it.
struggled.
Oh, for sure.
Now that I think I just Dr. Phil'd myself and didn't even realize it. I didn't realize
you had your
that,
own
actually.
intervention.
Well, and a lot of the comments that the show gets too, whether it's the private emails that you're getting or just comments, how many times have people said, thanks for that tip and I'm playing WoW because of that, or I resub. So I know we've already answered, the show keeps us going, but those comments even just get you like really,
Makes
we
you
did
feel
good,
tough.
or
even one person, 1 out of a million, it makes you feel good because you affected one person.
Right.
Not infected, affected. There's a difference. That really does.
That
I
would be bad.
am sad that I don't have my friends to PvP with anymore. That really is my problem. I am sad.
Yeah. Even if you think of the RBG team, right, from
It's all
last
blown
expansion.
apart. It's not what it was. I'm going to fix that, guys. This for Bell's Bites next week. We're going to talk about my PvP adventures, and I'm going to talk about me going and finding new PvP friends. If you want to be my friend in your alliance and you like to PvP and you play in the evening hours because I have children, let's be friends, guys. I need to find new PvP friends that play when I play. Let's be besties.
Besties. Also, if you're trying to get a lot of those arena points, or prestiges, and you don't have the time, just try to get your daily win. That's a big chunk of your.
I always have fun when I play with a group. I like at least a group of 5
Yeah.
when we're doing random battlegrounds. I like to have people, and it's hard for me to do random battlegrounds on my own because I don't control the map when I'm just me, and it frustrates me to no end. If there's at least 5 of us or even 4 of us, I know that we'll be able to control the map strat-wise, and we can oftentimes be the reason we win. So if you want to be my friend and you play Alliance and you play like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern time, be my friend. Give me your battle tag. Email me, bell@PWNCAST.net. Let's learn to have new friends since I've been depressed without my other ones. How sad that you all got to witness this. Literally, like, you just went through this wholly emotional moment with me.
Just a little bit.
Anyway, moving on.
Highs and lows.
Let's before we do our week in WoW, I know Jimma has an announcement because we're giving away free shit. Jimma, I'm going to let you have the honor, kind sir.
I lost the name. No, just joking,
kidding.
right? Dun, da, 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 da. No, just joking. Yeah, so what I did was I just put all the names in a random draw, and I clicked go. And Adam Nickel is the winner. I didn't mean to use your government. I don't even know if that's your government name, but that's your YouTube name. So just leave a comment, or, we really just need
Bell at PWNCAST.net, and I will get the information from you.
Gemma.
You need to email your email address that we can send you your gift code for your
Warcraft email address.
Yes. So whatever. Well, it could be whatever email, because it's a code they redeem themselves. It doesn't have to be their battle tag email.
Oh, you don't know how many times I used to do a lot more giveaways for Game Time, and whether it was EU, which is a different link to send them the Game Time, or US, there was a few times where people did not give me their Warcraft Game Time, and I had to contact, and it was so irritating.
It can be any email, because what happens is a redemption code gets emailed, and that redemption code, they go plug in that redemption code. So email Bell at PWNCAST.net, and I will get with Gemma to get with you.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Adam, and thank you for everyone who left a comment, and I don't think it'll be the last giveaway, so
It won't.
We're going to be doing a little bit more
in
next
January.
year.
I plan on doing a few giveaways from the Blizzard store, so
I was actually going to talk to you about that. That's funny.
Yeah,
So,
well, right now, we're holiday broke, right?
Yeah.
I have a lot of children, so we're holiday broke.
Well, the good news is also I know Mischief probably won't be on sale during the holidays, but everything's dropping.
31st is the last, but there's still a lot of pets that I feel like a lot of people don't have, and there's a lot of mounts on the store, and stuff that I feel like. But the Blizzard Gear store, they have a lot of really cool little Funko Pops. Like, they have stuff that's
they have a ton of stuff
within our power to be able to give. But January is going to be a good day, a good month, once we recover from
the holiday spending.
Wow.
Yeah, what are we celebrating? My year on the show, right? It's a big month, so I don't blame you for wanting to celebrate
your year?
I'm not 100%. I don't know. My first episode was either like I think it was January, because I was just starting to get you guys to know you guys. We met at BlizzCon officially, like we knew who each other were, but
we
give or
are
take.
doing the show the 26th. For those of you who are wondering, we will never miss an episode. So the 26th, which is the day after, we are going to be doing. I don't know who's not going to be here, but
we call that Boxing Day in Canada.
You're not going to be here the Monday after?
I told you.
Oh, your family. You did tell me. You're right. I told you to remind you next week. You're right.
Yes.
Well,
Post
okay.
your ass.
Most of us will be here for that. The holidays, they just jumble everything up. My husband shared a meme on Facebook, which is not relevant to what we're talking about, except it was how the rent stole Christmas. And it made me laugh because I'm like, he's totally right. Like, I had to stop buying stuff because we went over budget because of rent. Anyway, let's talk about week in WoW. Gemma, go.
Did you guys know you have to pay money for Warcraft? I forgot.
Do it every month.
Not this guy. I bought so many WoW tokens when that WoW token first came out. So I went to log in 2 days ago, and it's like, you're out of game time. So the little window pops up, and it has 57,000 gold. I said, F that. Busted out the credit card and resubscribed for 6 months. So I may sound a little bit of a diva, obviously. And
like DVA?
Maybe. Gemma and his spelling and reading and saying is not so good. So yeah, I had to pay for WoW, and but that's no big deal. We get a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah, I really wish I just stocked up more on tokens. I had no idea it would be this expensive, and of course I wrote it in a Warcraft group on Facebook, and a lot of the EU players spoke up, and they're like 57k. You think that's bad? They're at over 100k right now. So yeah, could you imagine grinding out 100k gold for your subscription? So yeah,
Absolutely
it almost
not.
made me money's very tight for me, but in the new year, do I just buy WoW tokens and get gold, right? Because you can purchase them and get a chunk of gold back, right? So yeah, I had to pay for WoW. I unlocked my Alliance Enthusiast, which was cool. I also leveled up. When I power level my pets, I get a lot of pets in that 20 to 24 range. So I had like a stack of 200 stones. So I literally just threw a bunch of stones on pets that were very close to max level, and I got like another 80 max level pets. And a couple very boring, trying to get artifact power and world quest stuff. Well, I mean, that's just standard, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Hots and Lycan, I know you're not watching the show because you don't, but we're going to start some arena this week. And yeah, I'm excited for the new PvP season, which is not my week in WoW. Secret, do you have a week in WoW?
Week in WoW, ran Kara. I had to stay on the main with Kelborn while everybody else was on their alts. Good job, guys. Fucking hate all three of you guys. I got 3 alts. I want one thing from Karazhan on my rogue, and that's to try and get off the boss.
It wasn't me. I haven't alted on.
Yeah, it wasn't you. No, sorry, it was Yas. Yas was on his main.
Yes.
Yas. Did that. Did Heroic Nightmare, which was Xavius can kick rocks from last night and all the bullshit that was going on. Completed Trial of Valor on normal as a group. It was fantastic. It was a lot for a normal fight with all the ads, but we did it. I'm happy. Tomorrow's a new day, and I really didn't do much. Just played my rogue and I farmed a little bit of trying to get Thunder Fury because I really want that on my rogue, and I know I'm not going to get it probably for another year, so it's fine.
I think sometimes you and it'll feel like, our week in WoW, when we start talking about it, like, oh, is our week in WoW that boring? But it's literally what a lot of people in game are doing, right? Their world quests, their stuff. And you want your week in WoW to sound more exciting than it is, but sometimes it's just normal gameplay, right?
I mean, I'm happy to actually just press J and it'll pop up the guild information, and I have it set where only legendaries show and
you're obsessed
achievements. No, I want to see who gets them because I'm curious to know who gets them, and I'm like, hey, kudos, you got your legendary finally, or your 3rd legendary or 10th legendary.
I want to be gratzing people when they get their legendaries. I just sit there with a stank face, like, all judgy.
You would.
I'm just kidding.
I applaud them.
I have a legendary. I'm totally just kidding.
She may have said you effing casual to Jimma Banks as he got
No, because how can dare you? I play 3 times the amount you do, and you just waltz in one day and get a legendary, and I'm like, wow. The justice system is fucking rigged.
That's life. And we deal with it, and we keep going, and we keep trying to farm them, and that's just how we do it. But that's all I really did. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll run some mythics. And I don't want to do another Mythic 10 Arcway ever. So
Belle does.
I don't really fancy Arcway. I've done it, and we've done I'm pretty sure we did an 8, maybe. I'm trying to think.
Disgusting.
It was either 7 or 8. It's a bad time, guys. It's awful, awful, awful time. Yeah, it's an awful time. It's not my favorite.
Mm-mm.
So,
it's not the fan favorite?
No. The Arcway is not the fan favorite. Court of Stars is fan favorite. So what did I do this week? This week was all about the guild. I did setting up the mythic runs. Each officer's hosting a mythic run event every day, so there's always mythic dungeons going for guildies. And because we talked about meeting the needs of your guild, and having a guild is more than just people logging on and talking in guild chat. It's more than just a raid team. It's making sure that you're speaking to all of your guildies. You're filling a need with everything each guildie needs. And
the organization of this guild is very impressive.
Makes me insane sometimes. But yes, we do a lot. And I know there's a lot of guilds that do events. And I know there's a lot of guilds that do this and that. But I can tell you that there's no guild that does what we do. And I know that for a fact, because that's the reason we have these guildies, is they say that. So we're kicking off our events. Our events are going to be, we're revamping those and getting those ready. I'm still data collecting for the Hungry Games, because we're going to start that in January, and then planning the holiday party for the guild. I want to be able to do it on the weekend, but everybody's going out of town for the holidays. I don't leave. I don't go anywhere. I have kids. So we're going to do an in-game holiday party. We're going to play some games. We're going to get together around the tree. We're going to have wrapped gifts. We're going to exchange holiday food and get in curse and just do what we would do if it was real life. And then New Year's Eve, I'm going to host drinking games in Curse, because we don't go anywhere. We have children, and it's not appropriate for me to be partying downtown, shaking my thing when I have kids. So that's just not appropriate. We don't get babysitters.
You could just make a club in Your house.
Probably also not appropriate for my tiny children. So what I do is every year
They could dance with you.
every year since Writers has been a thing, I ring in the new year online. I've always done
That's
it.
cool.
Most of my kids are asleep by then anyway, so it's not like I'm not spending time with them.
Right.
But I've rang in the new year every year with the guild, and I'm going to do that. I'm just going to host like a drinking party, and we'll play some drinking games and do some random shit in game and ring in the new year and take shots and, you know, do whatever weird stuff we do. But that my focus is
you
been the
should
guild.
duel people, and if you lose, you take a shot.
No.
Oh, she'd be smashed in the first half hour.
I hate you. So I do want to talk about something I did pre-record the very first episode for a new project that I'm working with Ro at Realm Maintenance on. The podcast is called The Rolling Restart. You can follow at RestartCast on Twitter, so make sure you go to at RestartCast. Give us a follow. So the idea behind this is every episode is going to be a different host. I think that's what's happening. It's just a revolving host, and there's 4 of us.
Oh, wow.
Ro calls us the 4 horsemen. I got to kick off. I'll be kicking off the first episode, which is really nice, alongside with Ro. It's always awkward when I do something that's not PWNCAST because I always feel really weird about it. But this is like a 25-minute podcast. It's like, and it's my thing. It's my stuff's PvP.
Did you already do episode 1, or
We did episode 0, which will be released on the 27th. But make sure you follow us on Twitter, which is at RestartCast, so that you can. We're trying to like build up momentum, but it's World of Warcraft only. There you go. It's World of Warcraft only. So I talked about the state of PvP and what I'd like to see in esports in the future. It was a really good conversation with Ro. So
That's cool.
Yeah, super excited. And we're just barely getting it off the ground, and I'm just along for the ride. When people message me and want me to podcast, be a guest or something, I'm in, because it's one of my favorite topics to talk about. I've probably been a guest on anybody that asked me to be on their show. I never turn them down because.
Why not? Why would you?
I mean, I love talking about it. If you mean you want me to come on your show when I already do my own and I get to talk about my favorite game and I get to hang out with cool people, fuck, I'm in. Like, and one guy was like, I can't believe you would be on my podcast. I don't even know what to say. Huh? I can't believe you asked me. Like, you asked me of people. You could have asked a million.
Do you know how many F-bombs I can say in 5
minutes?
minutes?
That's my first question is your podcast PC? Can I say the F word? And they all tell me no. And then I say, what if I say the F word? Rose trained me really well. I bleep myself out. Because,
you've come a long way.
Yeah, I still like to say the word fuck because it's fun and people like to hear that. It kind of
fuck.
It like shakes them up when you're just in your normal thing. You just throw the F-bomb and
you know what
people
shakes them up? Fuckery. Remember that?
I know that guy was really mad when I said fuckery. He unsubscribed the whole 9. He was very upset. Lord. And the one guy below was like, if that's of all the things she said, that's the one thing I've said to you. Like, because she says some things. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We are really sad we are without Nate. Lycan, excuse me.
You guys are on a good one tonight.
I know.
I just don't think we've just hung out so much in the last year. I just was going to say during this episode, make a new tune called like David Sauce. So we just call you David, right?
And then there was that awful time when I said my full name on the show. I had to bleep it out. You guys remember? I did.
I think so. I think it was before my time on the show.
I said my last name. I was devastated. I was literally like, what did I just say? It's not like it's a secret. Some of you have found my private Facebook and you messaged me and I'm like, wait, how did you find me? It doesn't bother me. I'm sure I'm not hiding anywhere. I keep Samantha separate from Belle because I have children and never the two shall meet until my children are out of the house. Then I don't need to have a duality with my life, but I like to,
there you go.
Not everybody is who they say they are in the internet. So I like to keep my kids safe. And that's why Belle's Twitter is nothing. I very rarely post images of my children. It's very rare. And I don't usually talk about my family life on my Twitter because it's...
I don't talk about anything on Twitter.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm very active on my Twitter.
Right.
I like to keep those things separate until I don't have children.
No, I mean,
once they move
the way it
out
should be.
and, go and do things, then I'll be too old and crotchety to podcast and it won't even matter. So, I'm going to be podcasting.
But you'll still be playing WoW.
I don't know. I can see you
to the
Welcome to episode. episode.
These boats are fantastic.
It's sad when you think that one day you're going to have to pass down the reins of your guild. Like, I have those thoughts. Have you guys ever had like worst case scenario moments where you're like, one day I'm not going to play my tune? Who's like, I have those moments where it feels
I
like
have that moment about like my watch.
but like it's right around the corner,
that.
right? We have how many years really before we're out of commission? But I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be 50. I'm literally only 34 years old. I don't know why I'm having mental breakdowns, but.
On
I think
episode 2020.
Oh, we're talking about watches? What'd you think about that?
Boom!
Got that iWatch courtesy of Ella.
I know.
She loves me. Okay,
does.
so I keep calling it an iWatch, and it's not an iWatch. I'm such an idiot. It's an Apple Watch. So with that being said, we had a great episode. These guys did the mannequin challenge. Pet guy, who won the pet again? Let's give him a little reminder.
Nickel.
Adam Nickel, right?
Adam Nickel.
Adam
Way to
Nickel.
go.
Email bell@pwnecast.net. And we will get you your pet straight away. We're going to go ahead and get the hell on out of here, guys, because
It's that time.
it is that time, and we've had a Monday. Guys, thank you for spending your hour and a half with us every week. It makes me and us feel good to know that you guys still give craps about us. I also have more emails that I'm going to be responding to. I promise I haven't forgot about you. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like. If you haven't subscribed, why are you not subscribed yet? You know you love us. These two guys, how can you not love them? They're really good at this. I can't hold it for any longer than that. I can't hold it for any longer than that. All right, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Thanks
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good show.
I don't have the attention span to sit still that long.
It's hard
Honestly,
not to think.
the whole time I'm sitting, we wanted to do the mannequin challenge for Christmas. Like, with the kids
the
opening
family, or
presents. Yeah, I wanted the kids to do it. The whole time I'm thinking about moving when I'm not supposed to be moving, and it it gets in my brain.
Makes you overthink. Yeah. What a kick-ass tree you guys have. I saw the train set too.
Somebody
All
messaged me and was like, we don't like to overdo it on Christmas presents. You guys went overboard. I'm like, first of all, there's 15 people in my house. That's not overboard. That's a present a person. It's not even that serious.
Yeah. Now, if you have two people in your house, you get 50 gifts.
What kind